Do people find you intimidating? Some men naturally have such a powerful presence that they command attention without even trying. I'm not talking about those who put on a fake alpha male act or boast to impress others. No, this goes much deeper. A quiet, controlled aura that makes people take a step back. It's the kind of energy that doesn't need to be loud to be noticed. Here's the truth. Men who are genuinely intimidating rarely think about it. In fact, they're often caught off guard when others tell them they are. As we go through these 6 signs, ask yourself, do any of these resonate with you? You may have a stronger presence than you realize. Number 1. Eyes of conviction. The first sign of a strong personality is in your eyes. A man's conviction is evident in his gaze long before he ever speaks a word. This is why most men carry the aura of a worm. They lack direction, drifting through life aimlessly and uncertain. You can see the emptiness in their eyes. Think back to the pandemic during COVID. The pressure was intense, fear was everywhere, and NPCs lined up to obey orders without question. But some men stood apart, those who refused to follow blindly. If you looked closely, you'd notice it. Their eyes held something different. While 99% of people lined up for triple boosters without hesitation, these men stood their ground. They weren't swayed by pressure. Their eyes reflected something deeper, a strength that went beyond muscle, beyond words. It doesn't matter if a man is 300 pounds of solid muscle. If he lacks conviction in his gaze, his presence is weak. This is why fake alpha males fail to command real respect. They puff up their chests, strutting around with invisible lat syndrome. Pathetic. True presence isn't about posturing, it's internal. It's that quiet fire in your eyes that tells the world you are grounded in purpose and unyielding. It's not an act. It's a level of conviction that can't be faked. And that kind of conviction, it's unsettling to people. Because it means you can't be manipulated, swayed, or broken. Not by anyone, not even by the devil himself. There's a saying, the devil loves a man with no direction, for he will follow any road that comes his way. But a man with conviction is a hard man to sway. He's a threat to the devil himself. And it's true. Once you've found your purpose, your eyes say everything. People see it and instinctively understand that nothing can shake you. Number 2, reading people. Can you read people? The most powerful men wield a rare weapon, the ability to see through others. Anyone can run their mouth, spouting whatever words people want to hear. That's easy. But reading people? That's different. It's about deciphering their silence just as much as their words. It's about recognizing true intent, spotting hidden motives, deception, and agendas that most overlook. When you can read people, they feel it, and it unsettles them. Psychopaths, sociopaths, manipulators, liars, and narcissists all thrive on secrecy and control. But the moment they sense you're onto them, their power starts to crumble. You become a threat, the one person they can't deceive. This skill doesn't just make you aware, it makes you dangerous. It's why high-ranking military leaders are trained to master it. The ability to read people isn't just a trick, it's an edge that separates the powerful from the weak. I've studied this for years and may put together a full guide soon, one that will teach you how to read a man with a single glance. But for now, just know this. Your ability to see through others shakes even the most ruthless psychopaths to their core. Number 3, battle scars. The third sign of a strong and intimidating personality, all your battle scars. If you've been through a lot in life, you carry those scars with you. They shape you, becoming a part of who you are. They make you seasoned, hardened in a way that those who grew up in comfort will never understand. Picture this. You grew up in a tough neighborhood, exposed to violence firsthand, maybe even throwing punches yourself. Your energy will be completely different from someone who has never faced struggle or conflict. Even if you found peace now, those battle scars, whether physical or metaphorical, never truly fade. They stay with you, etched into your presence. And if things were to go sideways, you wouldn't flinch. You'd be ready for the smoke because you've already faced the worst life has to offer. That kind of experience? It's a power most people will never possess. Number 4, comfortable with silence. Most guys are nervous talkers, tripping over their own words just to avoid silence. They're so uneasy with quiet moments that they scramble for small talk, desperate to fill the gaps. They see silence as awkward, but in truth, it's a mark of strength and presence. A man who is at ease with silence isn't afraid to simply exist. He doesn't need to talk just to prove himself or fill the air with empty words. His presence alone says enough, and that's what makes him intimidating. While others get lost in their own noise, he remains calm and composed, knowing that true power doesn't have to be constantly broadcasted. And when he does choose to speak, it's with minimal words, but maximum impact. Number 5, walking with death. This trait is rare, but it's one that sets certain men apart. Some walk hand in hand with death. These men aren't depressed or suicidal. They simply have no fear of the inevitable. They've come to terms with a harsh reality. Death is coming, and running from it won't change a thing. In fact, the only way to truly live is to embrace it. Even the Stoics understood this, calling it memento mori, a reminder that one day you will die. Most people are terrified of death, clinging to safety, avoiding the subject like it's taboo. They can't even discuss it without discomfort, let alone confront it head on. But the men who walk with death, they're different. Their calm under pressure isn't an act. It's the confidence of someone who has accepted what most people try to deny. They don't waste time on the meaningless or get paralyzed by fear. Walking with death gives them an edge. It's intimidating because it shows they're free from the one fear that controls most people. Now, atheists often struggle the most with this concept. For them, everything ends in dust. No purpose, no afterlife, just an empty void. But those who have true faith, real belief in God, can stare death in the face and smile. That kind of unshakable confidence is unsettling to anyone who hasn't yet made peace with their own mortality. Number 6, embracing discomfort. The man who willingly puts himself through discomfort every day naturally intimidates those around him. Most people today are suffocating in a crisis of comfort, soft, fragile, and avoiding anything that pushes them beyond their limits. They chase ease, but in doing so, they slowly kill their own spirit. And when they see someone stepping outside that bubble, it unsettles them. It's the same reason overweight guys often feel intimidated walking into a gym. They're surrounded by people pushing themselves, embracing the struggle they've been avoiding. But here's the truth. We are built for pressure. We're designed to thrive in extremes, not to sit idle while life passes us by. Choosing discomfort is choosing to live as we were meant to, full of power, full of vitality. We weren't meant to exist in perfectly regulated, climate-controlled spaces all the time. We're supposed to feel the sting of cold, the intensity of heat, and the strain of physical exertion. Our bodies weren't made to be sedentary, so when you step out of your comfort zone, it may not feel good at first, but it transforms everything. Your presence, your testosterone, your spirit. This is what separates those who stay weak from those who grow into something far greater. Make sure to subscribe for more interesting videos like this. Thanks for watching.